Hey everybody, good morning. Oh, don't look over there. That's more of the stuff I'm packing. Okay. Hello, Pig. How you doing?
Hey, not bad, man.
Oh,
Up bright and early to
hold
talk
the
about
phone.
some.
Stop. You are way louder than Zombie Girl. Just let me fix this real quick. Okay. Now say something.
Testing,
No, it's all
testing,
good. See, this is
testing.
why we should have done this ahead of time, but it's 5 a.m. for you, so I would not have asked you to wake up like half an hour early for audio tests. That would have been, in my opinion, a dick move. Anyways, we're gonna go now. How you doing, man?
Rip headphone users. My bad,
It, wa-
man.
it, was,
Thank you
it
so
wasn't
much.
it wasn't that bad. It was loud, but it wasn't that bad.
Nice. I'm doing well, man. I'm up early. We've got some good signups today for the cups. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I very rarely cast online cups, so when I do, it's always like, hey, I actually get to watch some fun games, talk about
Yeah,
StarCraft a bit. I think this is the first time I've ever commentated with you as well, man.
that's exactly what I was about to bring up. So expect a shit show today, guys. It's gonna be fantastic. Thank you, Pig, for coming. By the way, I needed a partner for today, and I was like, you know what, Pig and I have never cast. And plus, if he's like, do you plan to stream after still? Because usually you're streaming when we're done, and I like host you type thing. Are you still planning to try and stream later today?
Probably, yeah. I mean, depends when we finish, but I figure
Because
I'll ladder.
it sounds like the perfect opportunity to win the hearts of our viewers and then host you immediately afterwards. I'm just saying. So
Well, if you twist my arm, I mean, I guess I have to, man. Like it's like, oh, all right. I guess getting hosted for all of you beautiful base trade viewers would be nice. So, almost definitely, man.
all right, well, we'll talk more on all of that in just a moment. I'll let everyone know that we're finalizing the bracket as we speak. As always, there is a bit of delay on the stream, so probably by the time you hear this, it's actually finalized. So I don't want to start talking about names just yet, but while we don't know who's been checked in, just seeing people like Showtime, TLO, Thermal, Super, Billowy, a Laser, Beastie, Snoot. I mean, there's so many good names on this list. The funny thing is, I was almost a little bit hesitant to ask you because I was concerned, like, oh, you know, it'll be a step down from WCS for poor Pigorino here. But here we are. We're probably gonna end up with a round of 8 bracket that wouldn't look too different than the 4.5 of BlizzCon, right? Like, look at the names on here.
Yeah, this is actually a sick bracket. It's really cool as well. You know, you've got like TLO in there as well. Got a couple of these like fan favorite guys who've been kind of like they're the creative dudes who've been, you know, creating some weird styles and stuff. And it's 3.8 as well, man. Tournaments in 3.8 are just like the most exciting thing.
It's
You're like, what's gonna happen?
it's been so weird. There was the very first week. It was just embarrassing to watch Protoss play. Nobody could touch Zerg. Hydras were ridiculous. Hell, it was just unfair. Then week 2, 3 comes around. We see Zest start doing things with DT. Showtime starts copying him. All of a sudden, Showtime's winning the Go for StarCraft Cup over like 3 Zerg in a row. Like, it's nice to see things are starting to turn around and stabilize. But I think, you know, you did your balance talk the other day. It ended up on Reddit. I think we hosted you for it too. I think everyone's aware that this game is nowhere close to being perfectly balanced right now.
No, I mean, it's chaos though, right? As well. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's not perfectly balanced, but does anyone really know fully how to abuse it? I don't think so. So it's kind of that fun chaotic point, right? And you get so much like creativity and new builds like just
Exactly.
coming up so quickly.
We had Thermal do rush to battle cruisers in like a professional game in like the semifinals or something like a couple days ago. We've had the weirdest things come out of Showtime. Like, I'm loving seeing all the differences. We had Mana beat Zest last week, by the way. That was really cool. Like, okay, cross server PvP, whatever, but still, Mana beating Zest, like, everyone's relearning, I guess, parts of the game all over again.
Yeah, Mana's been powering up lately, hasn't he? Like I remember he had like a pretty tough year, and then it was like, oh, by the way, every time like Shoutcraft or an online cup comes along recently, he's like taking out these big names and doing really well. So I really hope Mana kind of just turns everything around and just starts like wrecking tournaments well, not this year. I keep thinking it's 2017 already. As soon as BlizzCon's over, I'm like, yeah, the next year has just started.
Just rolling on out. Now, I know Mana's not feeling very good about his PvZ particularly right now, and I don't blame him. A lot of people aren't. It seems like Neeb's the only one who's figured out how to get to carrier safely every game. Other than that, there's like the struggles of do DTs, do Archons work? Like, we don't know. It's all up to the players, frankly.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what are you inviting me to a party for? What is this? Ugh.
Oh,
Ugh. Ugh. sorry,
I was just like, hey, I should make sure I don't get left behind when lobbies start. I should.
no, I got you. That's not the real idea. That's why I told you to add me. So I can just bitch and be like, "Pig, join off me! Come on, come on, come on!"
All right,
The party.
Sweet. This is...
the join party noise was so disgusting. I haven't heard that in so long.
Oh, really? There's like a special noise? Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man.
I'm so antisocial when I play StarCraft, man. It'll just sit in my dark corner. No one invites me to parties.
Well, we have the bracket actually finalizing as we speak. And Pig, normally I am Mr. Terran bias. I'm like trying to watch every Euthermal and Kelazur disgusting theoretic per game possible. You're the guest today. I'll let you take the steering wheel. For those who don't know, you should know Pig, but in case you don't, he's Zerg. So it's not going to be so disgustingly Terran bias for once. Maybe.
We'll see. You know, I do get excited over Terran as well, but
well,
I think, man, there's quite a few good matches. I'm looking through the bracket.
There's a lot of really good round 2 matches. Like I'm immediately noticing Thermal versus Bly, probably going to happen in like round 3. Mana versus Nobody's really round 4, but still like there's a lot of good games. So I'll let you take
There'll be
your
Bizarre
pick.
TVT with Lillikainen versus Cass a little bit later on. I always love Lillikainen games being mixed into a tournament.
I do too. I've loved that kid forever. I don't care if he never gets good. He's my favorite guy to watch.
I assume 92 Tails is like Korean Protoss player. Okay, cool. So him versus Laser would be an interesting match. I think a Laser would probably be the favorite there, but that might be a good one. Also TLO Avokado. Avokado is a Swedish Terran, if I remember correctly, who's a GM player. So that might actually be a pretty cool match as well.
Okay, well, you let me know who you want. I'll go poke him.
All right, I feel so much responsibility. What if I choose a bad game, guys?
It's okay. Round 1 games, here's the trick, Pig. Round 1 games are always bad. There's no winning. What you do is you plan ahead for the round 2 games that you know are going to be good. That's the trick to online cups.
Fair call. Let's go TLO Avokado. I reckon that'll be a good game, man.
All right, then I'll poke.
Plus, who doesn't love
Dario.
a tasty, delicious avocado?
Actually, I recently learned I'm not for sure. I might be a little bit allergic to them. My whole life I've had no problem with avocado, but I had like this Greek thing last weekend. I didn't die. My throat didn't collapse, but it started getting like all swollen, and I'm pretty sure it was because of the avocado.
Wow.
Because other than that, it was just like chicken.
Maybe you're meant to have like an EpiPen or something. That's like intense, man. Of course, I'm gonna put out a tweet as well saying what's on.
All right. Well, as long as Avocado's here, TLO is gonna let us cast, so that's a good start. Excellent start. Normally it's just BaseTradeTV here on the YOLO solo cast, guys, but Emil's actually going to be joining us today. He'll be casting in Polish for those unfamiliar who he is.
Nice.
Better known as the guy who lags out all the time, but
I love when we get to see him at like the community summits and stuff, and every single person is like, "Oh, you're Emil, awesome, you lag, haha!" And he just like shakes his head and there's this like grim look on his face, and he's like, "I stopped lagging years ago. I fixed up my setup, all right."
Cut it out, guys. It's not funny anymore. Yeah, it's not funny anymore.
It's so funny. He's actually such a nice guy, though. He casts so many events as well. He's like the Polish scene hero.
He really likes following the Polish players around too. Like he's very nationalistic. Like you could have Zest versus Beyond playing, or Nurchio versus a nobody, and he'll go with Nurchio like every single time. Like he's very pro Poland, and I don't blame him either.
Hey, commentating in Polish, he's got to keep the domestic scene alive, right?
Okay, so I forgot it's different here. We've been casting so much lately. The formats of these all start bleeding together for me. It's pre-picked maps into losers pick. Totally forgot that's how this works, even though it's my tournament. But first map's gonna be Whirlwind, so I'm gonna host up and get Pig and TLO and everyone in here.
That's the efficiency setup, isn't it? I actually quite enjoy that setup for online tournaments where it's like, oh, pre-picked map, loser picks, because it's like, well, somehow pro players, and especially not necessarily pro players, just any player that loses will always find a way to take like a very long time to like just slow down a tournament the moment they start like losing maps and spending like 10 minutes figuring out the map order for the next series or something like that. Like I feel like these online cups can drag on for ages, but this is like a really clear-cut format where it's like, no, there's actually no way you can spend 10 minutes being confused about the rule set because it's so clear and obvious.
Well, that is just we normally do. I think like the default is like veto down to 1, losers pick after that, right? But we started having a lot of problems with people understanding what top seed was, so we're like, you know what? Just cut it out. We'll just put a map in for ease.
You gotta make sure everyone can understand it, man. You gotta make it pleb level.
Well, it works nice for the Koreans too, because then there's no question with language barrier and all that. But we got some bits coming in. TLO cheering for 100 bits. And Borgby as well just now. Pig, what's your opinion on black liquor? Oh, Pig, what is your opinion on black licorice? Is it one? No, hang on. Before you answer, is it 1, a delicious, tasty treat, or is it 2? Oh, I don't know why I have that alert still. I should delete that already. Or is it 2, the devil's candy that comes from its asshole?
It is delicious. It is amazing. Oh. Black licorice is fantastic, man. Black
it's great having you on the cast today. Sorry that you couldn't stick around. I hope you have a great life.
It's the best, man. That shit. Oh.
We had a really
good quality stuff. Not like the hard stuff. It's got to be like the thick, chewy stuff as well. Like it's kind of like soft.
We had a very heated argument yesterday on stream with chat about this. Samgub and I are not pro black liquor.
These guys.
By the way, big thank you to Shroom5, first donation of the day. As loud as that was, it says just gonna get rid of that last donation. Ooh, that's some BM. Thank you for the $2 nonetheless. Hopping into the game screen though, I guess for Pig, I don't know. I guess we'll just try to do this like me and Zombie do things. I'll introduce one, you do the other, and then just whoever awkwardly talks is the one who's gonna talk. I guess. Sound good?
Oh, I will bring the awkward to all new levels today. Sounds good, man.
Oh, well, you're lucky you're not a girl, otherwise I would have you beat in that category, 100%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Corsair Cup. We got a special guest on with me. Of course, it's none other than XL5's Pig. And in the top left side of the map, we got the green Terran player, appropriately colored. It's Avokado.
And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand side, the red Zerg player. It is Team Liquid's TLO.
I like TLO. He comes to play, I'd say, once every second week or so, and he normally performs pretty well. But he's had, like, in the past we've seen him do the sickest things. Like, he demolishes Alive with, like, burrowed banelings and all these other things. But he's also, unfortunately, been this player who's been falling prey to the 3-Rax Reaper. Something I've never seen him really struggle with in the past either.
The 3-Rax Reaper is it's, you know, it lures you in, you think you're having a good time in Zerg vs Terran, you're like, yeah, I'm really good at this matchup. You don't realize you're a slightly greedy player or someone whose execution is maybe not quite on point in the early game, and you're just like, just let me get to the 5-minute mark. Come on, Terran players. And then the U-Thermals of the world, the Killazers, they unite, and there's these guys with rocket packs and pistols and grenades jumping up and down the cliffs in your base, and you're crying your eyes out suddenly and losing tournaments.
That got really dramatic really quickly. I was just going to say, though, what's nice is on that point, we will actually get to see the 5-minute mark for once, because regardless of how good or bad Avokado is at 3-Rax Reaper, this is like the one map in the map pool you really don't want to do it on. There's some arguments against like Echo and others, sure, but I mean, it's a 4-player spawn on Whirlwind. This is the only map TLO is almost guaranteed to get away with an opening for.
Oh yeah, I think this is like one of the biggest maps ever. Like, I know there was like 1 or 2 maps in history. Like, there was one, like, was it like Tal'Darim Altar or something, I think it was called. There was one map where it was like, took you 8 minutes to walk to the other guy's base. Like, you needed to actually supply your troops with food before you walked them across the map, because otherwise they'd starve by the time they got there. But this map's, I mean, they're going to be pretty hungry by the time they get across the map here. It's a pretty big distance.
Gonna feed them a dingo's breakfast.
Indeed. Lovely Australian accent there.
Banana.
Bad,
I can say banana like an Australian, but that's it. Everything else just turns British real quick. Thank you to Borgy B for the 100 bits as he's cheering for Black Licorice. So Reaper is going to find TLO's base and get a scout, but TLO's already got the 3rd down. There's really nothing here to threaten him, so all Avokado can really do is scout for the time being. Now, actually,
just
Pig,
have a little poke around.
for question for you, because, oh, god damn it, that's so loud. Sorry, I guess to let you know, anytime you hear me grimace like that, it's because someone's just hit the new top donation number. And these guys like to do it little increments at a time. So it was 2, now it's 5. Someone's going to donate 7, I'm sure. Alaska Winter, $5 says, yo, you're awesome. That's all. Thank you so much. You're awesome too, dude. Thank you for blowing my ears out. But Pig, I was going to pose to you the question. We've seen a couple of different styles in the matchup, right? Some people are loving the Hydralisks and still playing roaches around them. Others are sticking to more like watching Rogue play, lots and lots of mutas with Lings and Banelings. What's your preferred style in this matchup, assuming you get past the Reapers?
Well, you know, as someone who's not so much of a pro gamer and a competitor these days, I get to have a lot more fun with how I play. So I don't know if it's like the absolute best, but I just love playing Hydralisk since the patch. So I love playing like a standard Ling Bane play, but then just getting like 12 Hydralisks. So whenever Terran's trying to like parade push or something, it's like they need to have siege tanks. I love like just having those Hydras be like, hey, I shoot further than all your units now, like come forward and like hit the bio, and the bio will run forward, and then my Banelings will run forward, so they have to run back. And I try to like get to the annoying composition. That's how I think of it. It's like the whole aim is just to annoy them with how far the Hydralisks shoot.
I have a lot of very passionate feelings about the Viper in particular, but what I love is that you don't even need it because Hydra's outrange a planetary fortress.
The moment I realized that in a game was a beautiful, beautiful moment.
By the way, for those watching, like if you actually have high-sec auto-tracking, which almost nobody gets, you can actually reach the Hydras. But for the most part, they outrange, yeah, pretty much everything. They're pretty abusive, and I don't blame Pig for liking that style. New things are always fun, and while Hydras aren't new, their upgrades are, and they're kind of disgusting to play against right now.
Oh yeah, they're pretty powerful. It looks like TLO is going to be going for double upgrade melee carapace, so it looks like, yeah, Ling Bane is his kind of play of choice, and with such a wide open map, why not, right? He's getting to just spread his creep out really well. And Avokado is doing like an old school standard 2-on-1, so he's really got the pressure on him to try and keep the creep back. And on this map, it's really hard to stop because you've got like 3-4 different paths, and you kind of got to like bounce around with your medevac. So Avocado's got to like really be on point.
You know, you brought up how big this map was. I would love for, like, I don't know if Avex is watching right now or one of the other map makers, but for someone to just do a size comparison graph and just show how big this map was compared to like all the others in the current map pool. Because I know there's still like other really big maps out there like Deadwing and stuff, right? But in the current map pool, Whirlwind is like by far the biggest.
There's going to be a nice stim in here from Avokado. TLO a little bit out of position, but I think there we go. Nice Zergings around. Oh, good drone focus fire from Avokado, but he can't lose these Marines. Actually, I think he's going to stand and fight. Wow.
Oh, but the medevac he picked up, it was the one that got focused down. So rest in pepperonis. This drop is done for.
Oh,
also,
man, that hurts.
We have a message from chat for you, Pig. Wolf cheers 500 bits and says, I was going to say, yay, guests, but then you proclaimed love for the awful black licorice.
Oh, Wolf. Oh, mate.
I
mean, you and Zombie Grab, you guys have just attracted a whole audience of plebs, I guess, apparently.
No, of excellent people who don't eat garbage for snacks.
Guys,
you know who else eats garbage for snacks? Hobos. Pig.
Who?
Hobos, okay? People have to sift through the garbage to find their food. Those are the people who like black licorice, okay? Those are your kids.
Dumpster diving is environmentally good. You know, that food's going to get thrown away anyway. It's great.
Okay,
We're just the good people. Like, we like to make use of everything in society. And avocado is delicious. Trust me. Like, one day at an event, I'm going to get you really drunk. I'm going to force feed you some avocado. It's going to be fantastic. Did I say avocado?
Yeah, you did. Because I was going to say, if you're going to force feed me avocado, my throat might swell up and I'll die. And that'll be hilarious. Thanks, Pig. I know you're aiming for black licorice. It's all good. I get you. Baneling Speed finishes up in just a moment, guys. Quick reminder to all those who have not been watching too keenly. Baneling Speed does give Banelings an additional 10 health now. So a little bit harder to kill and a little bit harder to focus fire. But the point I want to really bring up is TLO's also going for Burrow. This is something he's been really excelling at for the last, I want to say, like 3 to 5 months. Where it's not about sneaking a couple of burrowed Banelings anywhere on the map. Anyone can do that. TLO's really good at like misdirecting in the middle of a fight and burrowing Banelings without anyone catching it, then using those to catch the units that give chase to him. It's so sick when he does it so precise, and I love watching TLO play like that. On top of this, we're going to have the Infestors, which can also now cast all of their abilities while burrowed. Zerg got a whole bunch of cool new toys to play with.
Oh yeah, and right now TLO has so much space to work with. This Zergling counterattack's not going to get a lot done, but I mean, right now Avokado, I mean, I was talking about how he's got to like try to keep pressure up and slow down the creep, but he kind of just lost that first drop, and if that happens, we see that like the Zerg has so much freedom, and TLO has just shut down all the pressure from that point. So now he's got that creep just oozing across the map bit by bit. And look at it, he's just going everything, man. He's got like Adrenal, 2-2, he's going Ultras, he's even adding a Roach Warren. This is like a TLO thing where he likes to get Ravagers to counter Liberators in the late game, which is really cute. But it looks like he's not even trying to play the new units. He's like, nah, I'll just use the same style I was using before, just rush to Ultras, and make use of the fact that, hey, Infestors can throw Burrowed spells now. Why not?
Yeah, I was going to say a quarter of the map was covered in creep, but it's more like almost half at this point. He's really gotten away with a lot of this. So while some does get cleaned up, there's plenty still left. Baneling's going to roll in. There's a couple of Widow Mines he's got to look out for. The hits aren't so great from the Banelings, but Avokado doesn't have enough to really keep the pressure up.
Yeah, TLO is just trying to buy time right now. He's got a Spine Crawler here as well, but so far, good spread from Avokado. Nice little pressure here. And does lose a few Marauders at the front. The Widow Mines are still here, but the Queen Micro from TLO is actually really good right now. He's
it is, the Transfuses are nailing it. You know, I thought with the Spore Crawler coming forward, it was like a hilarious way to push back the Medivacs, but I now realize it was detection because he didn't have any Overseers handy. It's the best way to push back those Widow Mines. So takes out the couple that were on the front line. We're starting to drop over here on the bottom side. The Widow Mine's gonna get a pretty nice hit before going down.
Ooh, not too bad. Those drops though, once again, are almost going down. TLO though, he's actually down in supply quite a bit right now, but oh, there we go, some nice fungal growth. If we can just finish off this drop, get out some Ultras, I think he's going to be back in the driver's seat. Of course, Marines and Marauders are quite a bit better against Ultras in this patch, since they do have one less armor overall once Chitinous Plating kicks in. But I think with the power of Fungal, he should be in a pretty good position. Oh, those Widow Mines have reset TLO! Oh man, very nice shots from Avokado. He's actually taking some pretty good trades here.
That was like 50-50. As you guys just saw, TLO did manage to sneak out one of those famous Burrowed Banelings and got a sneaky hit with it. Love to see that happen. Scans to see the Burrowed Infestors. He's got more reinforcements coming in. What's that SCV doing here? Unfortunately, though, TLO's Queens have been doing a great job of picking off the Medivacs through all these fights, so Avokado doesn't have that many. 3 of them for a very small army?
A Fungal whiffs though, and right now TLO, okay, he's got an Ultralisk out now. There we go, finally his Ultras are out. He had almost no fighting units other than the Queens, but now with the Ultras out, I think he's good.
Well, he's still down like half the army supply though, so it's not going to be an easy time going on forward. That one Ultra needs another Transfuse. It's on 7 health.
Oh my god. Okay, he's still got like 3 Fungals, right? So Avokado.
No, oh my god.
On. Oh, there we go. Okay, the Transfuses go down. The Ultras are going to come out. Man, those Marines and Marauders, Chitinous Plating's not done yet. So these Ultras are still taking massive damage from these regular attacks. The Infestors are going in, a couple decent Fungals going down, but the Ultras are dying reasonably quickly.
And we finally have Liberators on the front line too, something TLO's not had to deal with at this point. So he does push back the Bio. He's struggling to deal with the Liberator.
Oh, okay, does lose that Liberator, and I mean the supply equalizes after that, and I think that's pretty good for TLO, because if we think about this, Avokado doesn't have a 4th command center, so he really wanted to try and kill TLO with this. His income's going to start to dip quite a bit over the next like minute or so, and TLO's on 4 base, and he's actually even taking a 5th on the left-hand side. TLO's, I think he's weathered the storm, probably.
Pig, do you have a number pad on your keyboard?
No, I don't actually.
Oh, then you can't turn the graphs on, unfortunately, because TLO has like valleys of red on his side when it comes to the income graph. I guess while he may not have had the biggest army supply, he had a lot of money banked up for it. So this goes really badly for Avokado on the ground, but he's still going to win this through the air. There's finally a couple Ravagers coming out, but really not a lot of reliable anti-air. No Corruptors, no Mutalisks, so the Liberators just have to kind of chill out. By the way, shout out to that Widow Mine for killing the Medivac. Feels bad, man.
Nice. Oh, nice counterattack though from TLO. These are 3/3 cracklings now, so they just do insane damage. Cut off the rally point there, picked off a few units, managed to force some SCVs off mining, killing a few Marines and Marauders. I think TLO's finally managed to put the hurt back on Avokado.
Oh, awkward is awkward! Yeah, he was going up to check for a base. There's nothing here, of course, but he finds the transfer, so the SCVs that had lived, now dead, feels a little bit bad, man. More SCVs transferring in, but I guess the one Ultras is going to get corralled.
I just want hug.
Oh, he burrows it. I love that he burrows it. He creates a crater in the ground. Did Avokado even see it, though? The scan would be worth it to kill the Ultra, but look at... How do you not see a crater in the ground? Why would you need detection for that? Let's be honest.
So creative. Pops up from underneath and just gets blasted in the face by a Liberator. But it looked cool while it lasted. TLO's here trying to put on some counter damage, but oh,
it burrows
wow,
again!
Actually blocks it. TLO's coming in from all angles. Avocado's desperately trying to hang on, but oh, this Mungle! Oh man, those burrowed infestors, shark on in, just wreck the army there.
You know,
I think TLO might be overwhelming now. So many ultras and lings flooding in.
Well, so that's what's kind of funny about it, right? You say overwhelming, but both players are on relatively low army supply considering where the game's at right now. Like, TLO's really relying on like 3 ultras and 3 infestors, and Avocado's relying on like 4 liberators in the sky. It's not exactly a massive army on either side of the field. But TLO's economy should be able to get him one, should he take a second to just rally and not keep streaming across the map.
Yeah, he's done some nice damage to the economy as well. Like, he's got this burrowed Zergling on the right-hand side, just denying this orbital from landing. He's got infestors on the left. Oh my god, that command center.
Yeah, so I don't know if you caught that. The infested Terrans almost killed it. It was very, very close, and the SV got it to repair at 20 health. 20 health, Pig.
Oh my god. And Avocado's going to try and put in some counter pressure to the Liberators, but once again, Zerglings come in and get blasted by the Widowmine. Avokado doesn't have the scans to kill the infestors. A Zergling actually drags a Widowmine shot on top of the infestors and almost kills his buddies. But for now, I think Avocado's trying to establish these 4 bases, but each second that TLO interrupts this economy, it slows Avokado down more and more, and he's really struggling to set everything back up, while TLO's helpfully on 6 bases. So he's just chilling right now, man.
I love the use of the infested Terrans to bait out Widow Mines. I love the use to like draw the Liberator fire. He's been doing a lot of cool stuff this game. By the way, I learned this recently out of frustration. I didn't know this. Did you know you could caustic spray an already flying building?
Yeah,
I thought you could only do that to landed buildings.
It's really funny, yeah, because I remember once I was doing it and I was like, oh, you know what? It's so dumb. Like, I thought as part of this build, I could just always fly in and use it on command centers. Then I realized at one point, I was like, but what if he just picks it up? It'll just cancel the spell, right? And then it actually clicked that it keeps casting on flying buildings until they fly out of range. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that.
So while this fight goes on in the front, and it doesn't go well for the Ultras, the infested Terrans were actually taking out the entire mineral line of Avokado.
So many units going down, yeah. Both mineral lines go down.
Infested Terrans, man.
Corrupt Ultra Zergling. TLO is so cute. I love the way he just finishes the game off here. He's got some force fields of infested Terrans on the ramp there. Doesn't let the bio retreat.
GG.
Takes it out.
I gotta see, that's cool. That's the first actual use of infested Terrans I've seen, other than desperation, right? Most of the time when you see infested Terrans come out, it's like, oh, the infestor's gonna die, use whatever energy it has, or maybe you're so desperate to hit a Liberator, but he was actually decisively using infested Terrans for a lot of that game. That was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, they're such a scrappy unit, right? Like, they're so bad at fighting units because they don't get upgrades. Whereas, like, in Wings of Liberty, they got upgrades, and it was like, hey, you can just, like, drop these in a fight, and they're, like, extra strong Marines. But I like that, like, in this scrappy game where he's like, well, if I'm borrowing Zerglings at bases and running units around, why not drop a bunch of like energy costing Marines into your mineral line? And it just forces so many reactions from Avokado. So I think that's like really smart from TLO, right? Like, if you're in a position where the opponent is like distracted a lot, they're not going to be able to deal with it very well. So it's like a very cheap way to force a big reaction and do potential big damage. But if they've got nothing else going on, they're just going to like pull workers away, stim some bio over, clean it up, and it's like kind of a waste of energy. So I kind of like how TLO's just like instantly identifies that niche situation where he's like, infested Terrans are good right now. He just like uses it because, I mean, he's TLO. He's always prepared to do the niche weird spell usage, right? He's the guy who's always got that setup going.
Why is this auto-deleting what I'm trying to type? Sorry, one second. I'm just getting frustrated with my keyboard.
No worries. I'm just gonna take a glance at chat here while I have a sip of my coffee. We got people in chat saying Avokado is speak now.
No, Avocado's not speak now. That's beyond. As as much as I think some people would love for that to be the case.
Avocado's a good player, but yeah, Beyond is the current god of StarCraft. We always have a god at each point, a deity who we kind of bow down. I have a shrine in my bedroom. I light a candle every day in honor of Beyond.
Nice.
And I hope one day to have Micro.
Did you get like a lock of his hair while you were at BlizzCon? Like, just snip it off while he wasn't paying attention? Like,
officially no, but I mean, you know me, Graham, so you know you're onto me. And you've got to, sometimes you've just got to get a memento, you know, if you get to go to these events and you don't take a lock of hair from your favorite pro player, I mean, what are you doing with your life?
I've apparently wasted all my time at events. That's what I've been doing with my
life. You've been too busy just enjoying the event.
I know, right?
Having a beer with people, networking.
I'm an idiot.
Enjoying watching tournament games. Loser, I'm the guy backstage. Or I run into the booth after the game and start picking off hairs off the back of the seat.
Yeah, lifting fingerprints like off the mouse and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to, while my keyboard was freaking out there and I was getting frustrated at nothing, I was trying to see if Bly and Euthermal would wait to play their game out so we could hop into it afterwards, but I think they're a little bit antsy and wanted to go, so I told them they could. That would have been a really nice follow-up though if it had timed out better. But we do continue with this series, game number 2 for the Corsair Cup. Make sure to check out the sponsor links down below if you guys have been enjoying the tournaments. Not just this one, but the 42 others that have been going out all year, because Corsair makes this happen. That being said, spawning here on the bottom right side of Echo, we got the blue Zerg. It's TLO.
And his opponent up here in the top left-hand side, our green Terran player. Just like the fruit, he is an Avokado.
Now, that game may have eventually gone really, really heavily in the favor of TLO. But Avokado put up a really good fight for like the 12 minutes leading up to that. I was actually a little bit worried. Like I'm not too familiar with Avokado. I was like, is this going to be kind of an easy game for TLO? No, it was actually a pretty good fight.
I think Terran's like really hard to go on like a related tangent to like find the right amount of pressure. And I think Avokado played really well, like you said, like for those few minutes. But I think the first pressure, losing his Metavacs, just gave TLO a little bit too much freedom. So I really hope if Avokado plays like a similar sort of Marine pressure build this time, I want to see him like keep the Marines alive, the Metavac drop alive for a bit longer, and just kind of elongate the pressure. Because there's all these like intangible benefits you get just by keeping Zerg uncomfortable, like just keep having units outside their base. But there was like this several minute period because he lost his first full Metavacs. And it was just like, well, now Zerg gets to do whatever they want for like 2 minutes until your follow-up pressure can arrive. And by then it's like much weaker and easier to deal with. So I'd love to see him just kind of like be a little bit more conservative. Don't dive right into the mineral line with his first pressure. And I don't know, maybe he could carry it through.
So I'm on the other side of the fence for this one, especially because TLO went for fast 3 hatcheries last time. I thought maybe Avokado would have gone for the 3 racks, and this time, you know, game 2, a bit of revenge, assuming TLO would do faster 3rd hatchery again. But nay, he plays it not scummy and a little bit more standard.
I really need to go consult all the pro Zergs about this 3 hatch stuff, because this is so popular right now. Like Impact kept doing this the other week as well in like the IEM qualifiers. A lot of players on NA ladder are doing pool first, 6 Zergling pressure, but this was actually hatch first, 6 Zerglings into 3rd hatchery. This is like some YOLO macro, man.
I'm sorry, did you say NA ladder?
Well, that's.
Sorry, I thought you were being serious for a second.
That's where pro players get their insight from. You know SOS, right? He just literally sits there on NA ladder on a Smurf all day. That's where he gets his builds, man.
Fun fact, SOS is unbanned at the end of the month from BaseTradeTV events.
Ooh, nice. Might show up next time.
Yeah, or just not ditch halfway through. That would have been.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Oh well. Hopefully he will be there for the next one. Nice Zergling run by here for TLO. He dodged the Reaper with these first 4 Zerglings, ran around. Of course, that did allow the Reaper to deny a bit of mining time and kill a drone as well back home. So Avokado's actually done pretty well with this pressure so far, but I'm not sure if he realizes what's up. Like, he knows there's a 3rd hatchery that was down very early, but does he realize there's no Zergling speed? So Avokado, like, he can actually put on a lot of pressure with his first double drop. And I want to take back everything I said before about don't YOLO into the mineral line and lose your first 2 Metavacs. Like, if your opponent isn't going to even have, like, Zergling speed or anything, maybe you do want to just dive in and try to kill them straight away. So I hope Avokado maybe does go a bit YOLO with this.
It's really, unless you get back, like, he's going to see the pool wiggling and jiggling in now, and as far as he's concerned, this might actually be speed almost finished. So that's the downside. He scouted the throw, he scouted the natural, but never went to the main. Never got to see that this was kind of delayed.
Yep. It's going to be nice and annoying, continuing to just run circles around TLO's base. TLO's getting out the fancy drones, trying to do us around, but that's all lost mining time. So Avokado getting a lot of value out of this single Reaper, just dancing around these bases.
Oh, I love the block.
Completely safe.
The Evolution Chamber block was sweet, and that gives him the Reaper kill.
Finally. He had to be so annoyed at that Reaper. He was in there for a long time, so he's like, I'm going to finally block you. I need an Evo chamber anyway.
See, for me, like, Ultralisk, burrowing and stuff, we say, like, oh, TLO's so creative, and I roll my eyes, right? But that moment, like, that precision, that timing, like, he's gonna get the Evo Chamber anyways. Those are the creative moments at the TLO I really like.
Oh, yeah. He always finds a way to get that synergy going with these nice little moments, and looks like that double stim drop is going to be making its way across the map nice and early. Avokado going for quite a fast one with just 13 Marines in those medevacs. What does TLO have? He's only got 3 Queens right now. He's starting to build Zergling. Zergling speed has now kicked in, but he's very low on Queens. So, I mean, this isn't going to be one of those situations where you can just instantly snipe down a medevac. If Avokado like pokes in and doesn't overextend and get surrounded by Zerglings, he could actually do a good amount of damage here.
Yeah. By the way, quick shoutouts to Mishkiti. I'm sorry if I'm saying the name wrong. Thanks for the 2-month sub. Good to have you back. Creep gets cleaned up pretty easily as the Marines start poking in, but the Lings are on top of this already, and there's not a lot he can do without Stim. It's finishing soon, like 1 second soon. So unfortunately, it's went in a bit early.
Yeah, that timing just slightly off there, and TLO gonna have just enough time to respread these creep trimmers, which is very nice for him. TLO also already has some Banelings up. Banelings trying to blow up on those rocks.
Oh no, TLO,
like,
please.
Let me at him, bro. Let me at him. Luckily, the Zerglings were all body blocking there.
I feel like that's when you got a pet that won't listen to you and he's just doing shitty things. It's like, no, stop trying to blow up on things, please.
It's my aim in life. It's like, not on rocks. Wait till you find a clump of Marines. Maybe, you know, maybe some SCVs, but it will always just try to blow up on the first thing it sees. Looks like Avokado going for the very fast upgrades into 3rd CC behind this. He's just going to maintain pressure on the right-hand side with that single, with that double drop, and a single drop coming in on the left-hand side at the same time. But TLO is pretty on top of everything right now.
I like this. He started focus firing down the creep tumors, thinking that would be all he would get before picking up, but realized he could take the fight, stutter stepped back. Unfortunately for him, splitting his attention like that did cost him both of his objectives. This drop on the other side's in a pretty nice spot in the mineral line. Got to focus fire down the Banes. Does focus fire them down. Pretty nice moves out of Avokado.
Yeah, not bad. Getting a few Banelings for his trouble. In terms of where we stand right now, it looks like TLO's really just kind of playing that same sort of style he was pre-patch. So I assume we'll see Burrow soon and some of that, but Avokado getting a little bit more constant pressure going with these Marine drops than he did in Game 1. Of course, it is a smaller map than Cross Whirlwind, so he's definitely enjoying the pace of the game here quite a bit more. And I think he's got, he's still way down in supply though, so I think TLO's macro is pretty on point.
I think so too, especially with the 5th base coming down. Like, there were Marines pressuring this entire time, but TLO's got no problem taking a macro hatchery while simultaneously taking another base.
Oh, when Liberator sets up on that right-hand side in range of the Spore Crawler and goes down straight away. You can tell TLO's dealt with that before. He's already got a Spore there ready with 2 Overlords spotting the high ground and a second Spore almost finished. Oh man, TLO's just going to go. I think he senses weakness right now. He's just going to dive on top of this army. I don't know. There's no Banelings. Oh, friendly fire on that Widow.
There was friendly fire, but it's got a lot of legs ping. Like, make no mistake, that was still a good Widowmine hit, in my opinion. But the Banelings coming from behind. Medevac's picking up all the Marines they can. The SCVs are doomed to die.
Oh,
no, bros, no. Oh, and TLO's burrowing some of these Banelings too. Not sure if Avokado saw that or not.
Okay, this is looking pretty good for TLO right now.
Oh no, Pig, the ramp, Pig, the ramp, Pig, the ramp! Oh, but he misses it! What? TLO,
please!
Please!
Oh, he's gonna chase them back into the Banelings, and
well,
the Widowmine
splash actually killed it! That went so poorly from TLO.
Oh my god.
I mean, no, objectively that went well. He got a lot of SCVs, got the lift on the base, killed it like 4 or 5 depots, but that one instance went really badly for TLO. It was too funny to watch.
This is not the TLO I'm used to seeing, man. Normally TLO would just be like, you know, I don't care if I'm going to float some money right now or something. I need to hit this Baneling mine, but this is the new TLO. He's the guy who's like actually focusing on so many different things at once that every now and then he misses the sick Baneling move, and right now he does it again. Plants the Banelings in the exact same spot.
That's what
I'm
watching him do this.
Was really sick though.
He's like a magician with sleight of hand for Banelings. Like, I watch him do this and I still don't see it. I just see the road Banelings after the fact. I love it.
Oh man, I think TLO's just managed to find that weakness. He's like, you know what, I think I'm just far enough out in supply, dove on top. using, of course, his 1-2 upgrade advantage versus just the 1-1 of Avokado.
Oh, we'll get this one.
He's overwhelmed it. Here we go. Here we go.
There we go. Not too bad. Not too shabby. The magician does it again.
Sick player from TLO, showing his class.
Seriously, by the way,
all over the map behind this as well. He has not been missing a beat with his macro whatsoever.
I want someone to like go through the VOD of this, take a screen cap, and like slow-mo that like when he does those burrows. It's so hard to actually see, and I'm looking for it every single time.
Oh yeah, I love that maneuver so much. You know, that's like one of the old school maneuvers. I think it was Lenok was the first guy who would do that. Like in every single ZVT game back in Wings of Liberty, he'd always just counterattack and burrow Banelings, and you'd run back to deal with the counter, and Banelings would explode in your face. At this point, TLO's like funneling into a choke point. He's playing what we call campaign Zerg. It's where you're so far ahead, you don't really care about like the angle you're attacking from, and you know your opponent's like, yeah, maybe I can do this, and you're like, no, I just have so much more stuff than you, man. You're like, yeah, you can kill 80 Zerglings with a couple Widowmine shots and Marines and that choke, and you can have a tiny ounce of hope, and then another 200 Zerglings and Banelings are going to arrive, and you're going to have a bad time.
I love that phrase, campaign Zerg. Trying to keep an eye on TLO's vision. I'm actually curious if he's using any of the voice packs right now.
You see, the Widowmine shot, this is what I'm talking about. This is campaign Zerg, man. Every Zerg player does this when they're like really far ahead. They're like, I want to play safe, so I'll keep droning and building economy and tech. But I might as well A-move, because I think I'm so far ahead I can just kill you. And they're like, oh, yeah, that A-move didn't work.
I like that he's still taking precautions. Like, he still gets the hive, the Ultra Cavern, etc. Sadly, TLO... Oh, that's pretty good. Where's the Banelings, though? They're morphing in, so you can't really jump on this too easily. The Lings get the surround, though, so they will be able to wipe this out. I was going to say, though, unfortunately, TLO is just using the default voice pack. Feels bad, man. Do you use any of them, Pig? Are you using any of the
Dude,
custom voice packs?
I'm currently in a voice pack war. I love Diva. Like,
no.
The cringe is just so incredible. I love it.
You know what? A black licorice eater would like Diva. I'm just saying. My God.
I'm in a constant battle with about 40% of my Twitch viewers who are like, turn it off now.
Yeah, dude. I watched Nate with that stuff on
awesome.
Too.
My dad always gets that one. Did you miss me?
Shut the fuck. All right, GG's, ladies and gentlemen. TLO will take this series 2-0 as we uncover more about Pig than I ever wished to know. I used to really respect this guy, but like one best of 3 in and I hate his guts. Black licorice, Diva. My God, man. Next thing you're gonna tell me Vegemite's actually delicious. Like, I don't want to hear it.
Dude, Vegemite is amazing. I know you watched a little bit of my tournament. Did you get to see Vibe eating
eating the Vegemite? Yeah. So my dad loves that stuff. He grew up South Africa, so he was like around Australia, then moved to Canada, I guess. But so he grew up with that stuff and he loves it. I tried it when I was little, thinking it was like gonna be chocolate paste. No, I was so sorely mistaken. And I think he knew that that's what I was thinking, and he's just like, I'll let him see what happens. It's like when you give a baby a lemon, right? Like, ugh. Dick move.
For anyone who doesn't know, it's basically concentrated salt.
Yeah.
And it's made by them like scraping the like leftover yeast or yeast extract or whatever it is out of the bottom of the beer vats, and then adding like a bunch of vitamins so they can say it's healthy and a bunch of salt flavoring. And it's like amazing if you have it with like melted cheese or like butter, and you like put like a really small amount of it on because it's concentrated salt. So yeah, I thought it would be fun to make bets at my tournament and force people to eat a spoonful of Vegemite. And because Vibe had never eaten it as well, eating this stuff.
Did he at least know? Did you at least give him a warning, like, "Hey, dude, this stuff's like really strong"? Like,
he knew he was getting into something bad. He knew this was like a punishment for being like, you know, betting on the wrong player in a match. But it's just one of those things. I love making people eat disgusting foods, man. Like, I can't wait to go until we have another tournament in Singapore, because I just want to make all the pros eat durian again and record all of them gagging and just being like, oh, what is this? To me, that makes my life complete. It's fantastic.
Well, guys, here's where we're going to be at with the brackets. The bottom side actually looks really sick. We got possibly Snoot versus either Euthermal or Bly. Hell, even if that's a ZvZ, I'd still want to see that. We do have a couple other players in the brackets going on. We'll go to commercial break and try and get updates on where the scores are for the other series. We may just follow some fresh ones, even if they're not nearly as exciting, just so we can keep the show going. But if we can time this out, I think the bottom side looks pretty nice. So thank you for watching. Just a quick 2-minute commercial break, and we'll see you guys with more of the Corsair Cup when we're back.